Hi everyone, welcome to a Google Maps Developers Hangout. We're live from the Sydney studio, and this week we have Paul Saxman joining us from Mountain View, visiting.
Yeah. This is kind of a rare occasion for me to be down in Sydney, but it's a lot of fun. The winter down here is not so bad, is it?
Yeah, it's lovely.
I think the summer in Mountain View has been about the same as the winter down here. So looking forward to coming down in the summer.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have a few topics this week. So the big one is we're going to cover some of the maps that we really like. And these are new ones that we haven't necessarily highlighted before, so we can give you a kind of a preview of some of the things that we're looking at recently. And then we have covering the kind of the sources, like places that you can go for inspiration if you're looking for maps to kind of get some ideas from. And these are other places around the web, where people are actually highlighting apps or map-based apps as well. And last, we'll talk a little bit. Actually, I had that around backwards, right? We're going to talk about the places to go for inspiration, the maps we like, and
how we find them.
How we find them. There we go. So with that,
yeah. So we're going to start by looking at. So Paul's going to screen share. So if I switch over there, so this is sort of how we showcase some of the interesting maps that we find. So maybe zoom in, actually.
Sure.
Because it'll. So this is the showcase on the Google Developers website. So developers.google.com/showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And if you drop down the filter, you can filter maps, mashups, or you can look at any of the other Google APIs.
Mm-hmm.
So if we switch over to Geo under products.
There we go. Why am I not seeing it? There we are.
There.
Yeah, so the 181 Geo websites. And nice thing about this too is you can kind of, it allows a multiple selection. So as long as you select one of the products, you can actually narrow down. So you can say, I just want, Geo apps that have travel or that are crime-based. That'd be interesting. Now, one other thing that's really nice about this too, if you look on the right-hand side here under the Other section, you can see the Street View API. Another really important one is custom tiles, styled maps, and Places API. So
let's look at the Places API. Let's see what we have there.
It's only, So once you do your filter, this is zoomed in pretty heavily right now, so you usually can see the filters and the sites at the same time.
Oh, we're missing my favorite Places API app, the Map of the Dead.
Map of the Dead. Yeah, there happens to be a request in to get that added. But yeah, we should. Why don't we go there now? So I'd have to double check and see. Well, we'll go there once we when we start looking at some websites. So this is, this is where we actually kind of highlight applications that we really like. So if you guys, well, A, if you're looking for inspiration, this is a great place to go. But B, if you we get a lot of developers ask us, well, how can we get, in this place or get in the showcase? And the kind of the short answer is that if you build a great app, something that's kind of map centric is kind of what we'd like to say. If you look at a lot of these websites that we'll feature today, kind of the map is the key feature of the website. The other thing is kind of mashups using multiple technologies, using the map with, for example, the Places API, or having a map with the Street View, or even Street View with Places. That might be interesting.
And even other non-Google APIs or non-Google content's great as well. But yeah, definitely, looking at sort of less commonly used features, but the more exciting ones like styled maps, for example, is one of my favorites. So if you've got a really nice style that suits the content of your website, then it sort of creates a more compelling user interface, and consequently sort of grabs our attention whenever we see a nice styled map. Like the ones Paul's showing now, it sort of just grabs us.
Yeah, and when you look at these, like I was saying before, they're really kind of map-centric. The map is kind of a key component. Not to say that we'll only feature applications or web apps that put kind of the map right in the center, but Old Maps Online is already in there. That's great. But yeah, this is so not only do you have to have a really good app, but then you also have to let us know about it. So probably the easiest way to do that is via Google Plus, I'd say. Join our Hangouts. So this is kind of opportunity today if we get some people actually sharing some of their favorite sites. We'll maybe do this again if this is a popular thing. We can also
or maybe review some maps as well. So if you have a map that that you've made recently and you want some advice or how to improve it, then yeah, I think that might be another good thing to have on the Hangouts.
Yeah, absolutely. So join our Hangouts. Let us know what you're working on, and or reach out to Google Plus. These are all great ways to kind of get your apps in the kind of in scope. So
we also showcase apps on our Geo Developer Blog via the Map of the Week post, which I think goes out on, is it Friday or early in the
midweek?
Week? Yeah, midweek. Yeah. So if I switch over there.
Yeah, let me zoom in this guy here. So the Geo Developers Blog, so blogspot.com or geodevelopers.blogspot.com. Here a lot of different information here. Hopefully you guys have seen this, but we talk about, for example, here we're talking about the Google Places API Developer Challenge, which is something that we're running right now for kind of raise awareness of the Google Places API and give developers a chance to kind of contribute to their community. But then we talk about a lot of different things here. For example, this is an entry in the ad unit, new ad unit. So here's some Mano's what does he call it? Fab Friday.
Yep.
So he covers basically stuff that's going on over the week. Here's my new thumbnail if you haven't checked that out. And then
it's me.
Yeah.
Oh, and Marcelo. There's an interview between me and Marcelo, who's down here joining us. So Marcelo's the tech lead for the Places API.
And we'll try to have Marcelo on again for an event in a week or two. But if you scroll through here or just search, eventually you'll get to the map of the weeks. So every week we try to post something here, one of the maps that we really like. We put a little bit of information here. It's not always. I think a couple of weeks ago we did Runtastic, which was a mobile app. They did something really innovative with Google Earth on mobile, so we thought it would be great to highlight that app. This one is actually the Volkswagen Street View Quest, another really interesting site to check out. Here's the Runtastic Pro. So yeah, another great place for you to go for inspiration. Read the blog. It's not only just the map of the week information. We post a bunch of stuff on there, but good place to kind of sift through to find good sites.
So what's your favorite site at the moment, Paul?
So this is kind of an oldie but goodie. Let's see if I have the tab open over here. So this is a GTA4.net. So actually, this map is actually in most of the talks I give. When I'm actually talking about kind of introducing the Maps APIs to developers. And the reason is there's a bunch of really cool technology in here. So they're using custom overlay. This is their own map of the what is the grand
custom tiles?
Oh, custom tiles.
Yeah. So I don't know what's the world called. So the city.
Liberty City.
Liberty City. Yeah.
So they made custom tiles for Liberty City, for the Liberty City map. They have a bunch of great markers. Actually, I'll just zoom in. Another great feature too. I mean, you can you don't have to just look at the map embedded in your site. So in the center here we have the map, but on the right-hand side here they have all kinds of toggles so you can show different markers on the map. So they also did custom markers. They did very custom info windows. So if you click on any of these guys, actually this is a video. It's kind of interesting. Stunt jumps. Oh, that's because we're looking at stunt jumps. And the thing that always really wows people is when you grab the little pig man here. What they did here is they put custom street view panoramas for pretty much all over Liberty City.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Usually, I mean, it's kind of a really unique use of the Street View API, the Street View service. So this must have been a lot of work. I'm really would love to figure out how they did this, actually get all this imagery. But yeah, they've basically drove through all the streets.
I guess they had a Street View car drive through Liberty City.
Yeah, maybe that'd be interesting if you could mod Grand Theft Auto and make like a Google Street View car. So this is, I mean, I think it's a great, I mean, it not only shows like, you know, kind of a custom map interface. There we go, back to here. Whoops, there we go, I have to click that guy. Custom map interface, so you know, they have their own tiles. They've done a really great job with these markers. You know, it's the way they actually styled the map makes it look like an asset of their website. You know, it doesn't look like a Google map necessarily, besides the attribution and maybe these controls. And then just the kind of the top it all off, the Street View is really cool. So what are you thinking, Chris?
Well, that's definitely one map that's grabbed my attention in the past.
Yeah.
A recent favorite of mine, actually I showed it I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, was the internet map. So I actually found this one via Hacker News. So actually, we'll just go over to the Hacker News page.
Oh, I closed it.
That's okay. Let's have a look at the site first. So, for example, if I'm interested in how big Google.com is in comparison to the rest of the web, I just hit find Google.com. And there you can see related sites as well. So they have some sort of graph of related sites. So if I zoomed in, all the way in, you can see that Google.com is related to G.co. True. So this is a really great use of custom tiles. So you've got this almost infinitely zoomable map. I can go all the way into the smallest sites of the web. And so they've embedded the labels into the tiles as well, so that some of the labels hide as it gets too small.
And there's something to the color has some meaning with this map, right?
I think it's the country.
Country.
Yeah, like a actual geographic country. So this is not a map in the sense of a geographic, as in sort of in relation to the real world, because you can see that as we zoom out, we've got sort of the biggest sites around here, and the US sites over there, and then these are all the Chinese sites in yellow.
Yeah. And then there's some trick too with the kind of the relation, like how how they're packed, or kind of
exactly
where they're positioned. It's
so related sites are near each other. So we might, as we zoom in here, you can see appspot.com, which is a Google domain, and I'm guessing as we zoom in, these might be sites hosted on App Engine or related to App Engine. So
App Nexus.
There's no real way we can tell.
Yeah, I think if I hadn't closed the Hacker News, I think people put some really kind of good insights. Yeah,
so he also put up a really great blog about how he created the map. So there's some updates here, and I think this is about how it's architected. So this is a really great post to look at if you want to do something similar, using custom tiles, and sort of he's just customized the map completely, which I think is really interesting.
Yeah. So kind of with the exception of the controls, it doesn't even, I mean, you can't even tell it's a Google map.
Yeah, exactly.
Not even using the Google Maps API.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when this one came out. This was kind of a phenomenon. I mean, it still is. It's a really interesting project.
So I can find the Hacker News post. This is not it. So yeah, this is one way that we find interesting maps. I read Hacker News occasionally, so from time to time, that's not it. From time to time, an interesting Maps API site will come up. Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, Hacker News. I mean, I think that's a really cool place to go. We have a bunch of other kind of sources. I mean, these are the places that we go to actually to find applications that we can potentially kind of feature or sponsor in the blog. Yeah, one to point out, Pamela Fox. I mean, she's a former Googler and former Maps DevReller, right?
Yeah.
She continues to kind of carry on the torch. I mean, she posts some really interesting information in her blog about using the Maps APIs and building mashups. I think this one's about using actually the Places autocomplete, so you don't have to have users actually fill in their their form fields, which is really nice. But it's kind of one thing also nice to point out is if you build a map and you can actually somehow contribute to the community, that really brings it to our attention in a big way. So, for example, if you do the kind of the footwork of kind of publishing your map, and then maybe if it's a kind of a free service, you can publish something about like, well, here's how we did it, or here's how we implemented this particular feature.
Yeah.
So kind of giving back to the community, which is something that we really appreciate, and it's just a really good way to kind of bring it to our attention. So a few other places that we actually go to kind of look for sites. This is the Google Earth blog. This is actually hosted by a couple of kind of Google Earth enthusiasts. Actually, you can find more about these guys on their the About page. But they actually go through. I mean, it's not just about Google Earth. They actually talk about quite a bit of different kind of Google Maps technologies, and sites that they find appealing. So I just want to give them proper credit. If we go to the About page, and Frank Taylor and Mickey Mellon.
Frank has another really interesting blog called the Tahina Expedition, which is his document of him basically sailing around the world, and he uses Google Earth to track his progress and add photos to the Earth, and it's really interesting. A really great use of Google Earth as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. That is a fancy-looking ship.
Yeah. So you can follow his progress and his intended route.
Yeah, this is I mean, kind of another really kind of interesting use of Google Maps, right? Is just, I mean, it's not a site necessarily based around the map like we were talking about earlier, but it's kind of using it for your own kind of personal information or information that you want to kind of capture in your website, which I mean is perfectly valid. It's something that we definitely see as a good use of the APIs.
So my favorite site for finding new maps is the Google Maps Mania blog. And so this was started by Mike Pegg, who now works at Google. But it's still updated very often. Actually, you can see a cross-post from our developer blog about the new ad formats.
Right.
So some news is posted up, but there's also some really awesome apps that Kia finds.
Connect with musicians on Google Maps. That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of times I think that the community can actually find and kind of aggregate these faster than we can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was actually one of the ones that I was going to kind of call out. Blocky, kind of a fun one. Yeah, so these guys, I mean, it's Mike and the current owner is
Kia Clark.
Yep. So I mean, they find just pretty amazing stuff, and so this is definitely a site worth watching. So what else we got? Oh, and another one. So this is actually Carlos, the marketing developer marketing lead for the Google Maps product. He pointed out the programmable web as another source for kind of digging these up. And I've used programmable web quite a bit before, but I never really kind of put two and two together.
Yeah.
So yeah, just if you go to the API directory, you can sort it by popularity, and Google Maps pops up right on the top.
I think you can add your own site to here, to this site.
Yeah, a lot of great information here. Not just about like sites that are using the APIs, but I mean, you can see here there's how-tos. It's a great way to connect with other developers. There's 7,000 APIs, sponsored here. I mean, we're only looking at one. Google Maps apparently has about 2,000 plus mashups. So I mean, I come. Well, there's 360s, 360 cities. I come here once in a while for inspiration, just to kind of see what's going on, and I don't know, another really great site to kind of just kind of dig around and explore with Explore Maps.
Yep.
So I don't know. We have a bunch of other maps. I guess we pulled out. I mean, maybe I'll highlight one more, and then we can kind of
sounds good.
Call it a day.
Let's take a look at Map of the Dead.
Oh yeah,
favorite one.
Forget about Map of the Dead. Yeah, we highlighted that. It was one of our maps of the week. Some reason it didn't make it into our showcase, but like I said.
Hey Marcelo, do you have any favorite map?
Oops.
Oh, you might have to unmute.
Yeah, I would say Map of the Dead, definitely.
Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the Place API.
I mean, I think we all like it, just because it is a good kind of Google technology mashup. I mean, it's not just the map that they've done a really great job styling it, but also they're using the Places API to actually, in a really unique way, right? I mean, they've built a zombie apocalypse map using real place information.
Yeah.
But kind of using it in the context of zombie apocalypse.
They have this awesome map style as well, highlighting the danger zones. So if we start to zoom in, we get an idea of important venues that you might need during the zombie apocalypse. So gun stores, grocery stores, doctors, and then you can sort of select them, or I think you can't filter. Yeah, it's just a handy reference.
And I think that, I mean, the game is kind of in the works, right? So this is just the kind of exploratory map, and then they're going to launch a complete game around this at some point. But
coming this summer.
Yeah, I know. I've been waiting for it. So yeah, so it's. I mean, I think that I guess the thing that's really that I find really appealing about it is, I mean, again, the map is really kind of part of their website. I mean, in a big way, and this is mostly the style. It kind of fits their entire theme. I mean, it really feels like a Map of the Dead, just because they've
and so we actually found out about this site because there was such a traffic surge. I think it was linked off a super, maybe even the New York Times or something like that. So it got a huge hit of traffic, and subsequently Places API was, traffic had a noticeable bump. So we went to find out what it was. Yeah, and that's. I mean, I guess that's another way we can find websites, but that's kind of like, unfortunately, kind of after the fact. I mean, we discover them kind of after they've hit the popularity. Yep. So yeah, but we'd love. I mean, if anybody wants to share maps, like I said, several venues. You can, Google Plus, come join these hangouts. With that, actually, we'll make one quick check and see if we had anybody post any maps that they wanted to share, because we'd love to. Oh, here's History Pin, another one we were going to highlight today, but definitely should. Was there a question on the Google Moderator that we should look at? Let's go take a look at that. Let me. Go check the developer's live site. Oh, I've got someone wanting to join, so let me add the circle. So if you'd like to join, add us to your circles and post on our feed, and we can go and add you to our circles so you can join. Yep, that was a slight oversight when I posted the original. We're doing a hangout on air, so we need to actually invite. So Meenakshi, if you'd like to join. Okay, so. No, we didn't have any posts. Okay. I mean, this is one I posted myself. We've already highlighted it, I think, in the showcase, but it was
the old maps online.
Great.
So, I mean, I think this site's pretty ubiquitous at this point. It's part of the David. Well, actually, the other way around. So the David Rumsey map collection is actually one of the collections actually featured in this site. You can actually you browse around the site or browse around the map, or you can actually search the map. You can constrain by year, and as you're actually searching the map, it's actually bringing up historical maps related to what's in your viewport. So it's really cool. I mean, it's really interesting because it's new technology and old technology.
They have this cool map overlay as well. This sort of grid lines.
It is really amazing. I was kind of curious how they put this together, because their Google Maps implementation looks like kind of a historical map as well.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing. Yeah, they have the meridian lines, and yeah. So you see, as we zoom in here, it's actually going to pick up. Maybe it's too close. Pick up new areas for historical maps, and in the right-hand side here, it actually shows the where the map fits in. So I can click on this guy.
So it loads the map up, right? Yeah, there we go.
I guess they view this map. It actually takes you out to kind of an area where place where you can kind of explore the map by itself. But so yeah, it's a great way to discover these historical maps, but it's also like a really good, really nice, clean implementation of the Google Maps API as well. So, but yeah, like I said, I think this is one of the sites in our showcase, and definitely worth checking out. Not only if you're kind of a historical map enthusiast, but also if you want to kind of get another feel for different ways you can style maps, or kind of integrate maps into your website.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so that's it for me. I mean, I have a few in here, but
that's one of my.
This one you want to talk about real quick?
Yeah, it's not a Google map, but it's quite fun. It's a wind map, so I think it shows sort of up-to-date wind in the US. But yeah, this I think I found this through Twitter. There's just some people talking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's fully zoomable. I mean, it's fully dynamic as well. I think they're pulling information from the. It's actually live wind information. Yeah.
Like that.
So read more about wind and wind power.
Doesn't say.
So I think it's more designed as kind of an artistic rendition than actually kind of an analytical tool. But
yeah.
But it actually, you can see the hurricane down here,
right?
Which is pretty amazing. Yeah, so I mean, not only is it beautiful, but it's also informative, which is really neat. And it is fully zoomable. I actually couldn't figure out how to zoom out. Oh no, it's on the left here on zoom. But yeah, as you zoom in, I mean, you can keep zooming in, and it keeps updating the information, so it looks like it's actually
wow,
kind of updating display. Yeah, that hurricane's looking kind of hairy. So thank goodness I'm not in New Orleans at the moment.
Well, the whole map looks a bit hairy.
Yeah, that's a good point. So yeah.
Okay, on that bombshell.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks for joining us this week.
Yeah, so we'll be up next week. Google Developers Live back in Mountain View. Just to kind of give you a preview, I think we're going to talk about crisis maps. So I guess this is the wind map is a good segue into that. So, but we'll post the kind of the abstract on Google Plus, and hope to see you guys in about a week.
And back for the Sydney office hours in November.
Yep.
Okay.
So cheers. Thanks for joining.